From this moment on, you will now be known as Sharkbait.
Sharkbait! Ooh-ha-ha!
Welcome, brother Sharkbait.
Sharkbait! Ooh-ha-ha!
Enough with the Sharkbait.
Sharkbait! Ooh! Bop.
So what's up, everybody? This is D giving you an update on what's going on with the tanks. I know I've been pretty busy. As you can see, I haven't even had time to clean the glass. Some things have gone bad, some things have gone good, so I'm going to give you the quick rundown as to what's up with the tank as I go through and do some of my routine maintenance. One of the things I love is having this magnifying glass mag cleaner on here because I can look at everything and clean at the same time. But with that being said, you will notice the evil and dreaded cyano patch. Yes, cyano, we get it from time to time, and there's always a reason why you get cyano, and that would be this right there. Aptasia on one side, dead J-Bow pump on the other side. Yeah, my WP-40 died, and it has given this Aptasia the green light to grow right next to it, as well as the Kenya tree, because there's no current. I've been playing around with it. Sometimes I can get it to cut on by just pulling the plug and putting it back in. You'll see it kind of sparks a little bit there. I tried it with another controller, but whatever the case is, I need a new pump, and homie's got to just wait for the money up in here with all my many other projects to order another wave maker for this side of the tank. One good thing is that I have my return pump in full swing, and I have another WP-40 on the other tank, so basically I cranked it up so that it is pushing water across the tank as I swing over here. And don't mind me while I clean the glass, because yes, it is a little bit foggy there, but you can see that pump is running in full swing. And one of the things I think contributes to killing those pumps is putting it in pulse mode. So I don't run this pump in pulse mode. It ramps up and down, which I probably even stopped that. But pulse mode definitely kills these pumps in the long run. So I'm just going to keep that one. I crank it up a little bit and pushing water to the other side of the tank. But the corals are still doing all right. As you guys know, I'm a softy guy, so I got soft corals in here. But there is another problem in paradise in the ways of my other tanks, which I will take you through shortly. Also, shout out to Barry for taking one of those big Kenya bushes to start his little journey on coral keeping. So Barry, if you're watching this, he got a nice patch of coral from this tank, which opened up some space for me when I get that pump replaced. Alright, fishes, before I leave, I might as well hit the feed button. These guys, when they see me move the magnifying glass, they love to look through it. It is the cutest thing, but I've kind of trained them to look through the glass when I point to it. And like any other pet, when they do something good, you want to give them a treat. So let me just flip the door open real quick before I leave, and I'll give them an extra feeding of mysis. My feeder consists of dried mysis shrimp and a mixture of pellets. So they are in their glory days, all right? Happy, happy, joy, joy, fellas, happy joy. And if you're hearing noise in the background, it's because it's blazing hot and I am sitting with my patio door open, so that's always fun. All right, now we get to my catastrophe. Oh my God. I definitely let this tank slip because I got a new job hours and I had not been doing the water changes, and everything is not happy. So I had to do some major changes, and the Xenia is not happy. Nothing is happy. I lost quite a few coral. If you look in the back there, back here, I pulled out the frag rack and I moved my WP-10 to this tank to increase the flow, which definitely made a difference. And I'm changing those filter pads. My phosphate, I tested, is not high. I tested the alkalinity, which did drop a lot. And as these things utilize the nutrients and things in the water, I guess the nitrate started to go up, but not bad. So long story short, I did like a 75% water change, and I'll be doing it every probably 3 or 4 days as I test it, because I was using that water for the breeding tank. So I didn't add that tank water to this because these fish are doing really good, so I didn't want to risk bringing whatever was in that tank into this one. I got about 2 dozen fry in here, which are doing good. If you look real close, it's hard to film them, but I got about 2 dozen in there, some that are outside swimming with the parents. I got a few marbles. That one in the back you can definitely tell is a marble. Most of them are like a gray or a white, but they're doing really good. I pulled some Chato from the frag tank and put in here so that they can feed off of the bottom a little more. The ones that are in the basket are mostly white mollies and doing good. As you can see, they're really grown. Let me wipe some of the spotting off the glass so you can see. So you see quite a few of them. Since they're not bothered by their parents, they grow much faster with the dedicated food for them, so they're doing good. I'm just gonna be hustling trying to get this back to where I had it, and like anything else, when it's small, you gotta focus more on the maintenance. You can't let it slip, which I obviously did, so phooey on me. Let that be a lesson to you guys. It is not hard, but you have to be dedicated in your maintenance. And I let this fall to the side with the pond project and everything else going on. So I'm trying to get my frog spawn and my Xenia and everything to come back, and they're peeking back out. So I'm hoping for good things. And you know what? Never give up, never surrender. It will come back. The Pavona is definitely taking a hit because the algae growth on it. I cleaned a lot of the rock off, and it is what it is. Oh yeah, man, I lost a few of the hard corals. The bottom is bleaching, but the Pavona, I'm pretty sure I can get it to come back if I just kick it back into 10, and it'll come back, because these guys are usually the toughest, which is funny because even the Akins I lost, which I always lose, something like that happens, but check out this chalice. It didn't bleach, it didn't do nothing. It's the funniest thing, man. The chalice, it's got some algae growth on it, but it's not bleaching out, thank God. The other Pavona, the Kenya trees are not opening up, but that's to be expected. If they open up, they tend to screw everything else up. But the Xenia is peeking out slowly but surely. The mushrooms are coming back. This Pavona did not do that poorly as the other one, but there is slight bleaching, so time will tell. I'm just gonna keep on it, be diligent. I've turned the whites down, focused on the blues, and in time it will be brought back. One important thing to remember is not to give up. It is all about diligence. Be tough and do not give up. Work. Nothing worthwhile is easy. So with that, let's take a look at the next project, because it breaks my heart to look at this frag tank. All right, but the fish are chilling. Thank God I haven't lost any fish. All right, let's take a walk out to the pond. Yes, it still looks ugly, but I got a hell of a lot of growth around the pond. The grapevine is spreading, and guess what? Look at that. Remember the hyacinth that I started with, the lonely one? Well, I got about 30 now. If anybody's in Brooklyn needs some hyacinth, guess what? That one grew into about 30, which is beautiful because it greatly filters out the water, but I can't see the fish because there's so much hyacinth in there. The solar powered pumps are working great. I did move the panels because with the grapevine growing so much, it was kind of crowding the panels. So I do have a lot of the fish under here. This snail wasn't here. Actually, I never noticed this. Look at the snail over here. There's some fish just swam by there. There's Variatus in here. There's another bunch of mollies, but I never see them because they always swim under the mat of hyacinth. So pros and cons to having a lot of plants is you don't see them. But the pumps are running full swing. I made a little mounting bracket to elevate them so that I get constant light. But unfortunately, anytime you make a bracket or a branch, the grapevine decides to attach to it. So I'm gonna have to get the ladder and pull that branch down, which is a major point, and that took us a major pain because that is about 11 feet high at least. But oh, actually, I will tell you one thing. I'm feeding these guys mysis, which they love. There were a few mosquito larvae that get in there from time to time, and I've seen the fish jump up at them, which is awesome. I can never catch it on tape. And I'm gonna try to move this without spooking them, but you can see my pair is still going. They always swim in the open. When I come out to feed or look like I'm coming to the tank, they will come right at the glass. I'm gonna try to open it without spooking them. Look at all of this guppy grass. And there they are right there. Still looking for a name, but these guys are just chilling. They swim out in the open. They don't hide. They are just cool fish. If I can get on, I don't want to drop my phone in there. That one. Okay, let me move back onto this side and try to get a better shot from here. One thing I did notice is that I was getting a lot of evaporation due to the sun being directly on the glass, because the glass gets hot, and when the pump is in full swing like you see it there, the water was hitting the top of the glass and it was evaporating. So what I did is I created a little spacer in here with this wood so that it would have some ventilation, and that greatly cut down on the evaporation. So just a little bit to let the heat out so that the glass wasn't really hot. So you got a nice cool breeze blowing under there, and the pump is running, and it is not hitting the glass. Sometimes it does hit the glass, but for the most part, I'm not losing a lot of water. Big thing is I got to come out here and constantly check to make sure I'm not losing water like that first time, if you guys look at the previous video. But other than that, everybody's chilling. I can't see the fish hardly, but I know they're in there, and the pond is doing all right. I gotta get some fish that are like these guys inside. This is the 10-gallon breeder tank. The tall tank lights aren't on. When the lights cut on, I'll give you an update of that. I didn't want this video to be really long, but you guys haven't heard from me a lot because I've been working like a dog and I've been keeping busy. But I did lose one of my sunburst platies that were in there, which is really upsetting because they were breeding like crazy. I think the female is still in there and pretty fat and going to have another bunch of babies real soon. The shrimp in this tank, I got cherry reds, which are very hard to tape, but there's one in that corner. If you look really close, there's one in the corner there. There's another one that comes out when I feed him, and I don't know where the hell he hides at, but he always comes out when I feed him. The growth in this tank is ridiculous. I don't dose any of my tanks with anything but good old-fashioned light. There are T5s on this tank though, and everything grows like crazy. There's no obstruction like on the tank above. So there's my Daniel, one of them. There's one of the fries swimming about. Hard to film them in here. I'm gonna take some of these plants out of this tank as well because I can't see any of the fry because it's so densely planted. But that goes to show what you can do with just a little bit of light and water changes. The pothos filters the tank big time. Pothos. But if you do grow pothos, remember you do have to remove it or it will outgrow and outcompete the other plants. As you can see, you will get growth that you have to pull off, and that's it. Nothing complicated growing in there, just good old-fashioned T5s, light, and water changes. And my internal filter is kicking, a box filter, and I'm feeding these guys some fry food and crushed flake, and the nutrients are probably more responsible for the growth of the plants, but the sword does suffer. Don't mind that. That's my idiot neighbor revving up the motorcycle, which he always decides to do when I'm filming. But the lights are on in the top tank, so let's take a look. Alright, I pulled a lot of these plants out because it was not fair to these guys that they did not have any room to swim around, and they're doing good. The colors are awesome. I was hoping to get a pair of these Varios to start breeding, but it is what it is. Water changes. The colors in them have greatly improved. The tetras doing fine, but nothing new about that. This female is still hiding in the back there, my white tetra, but they're doing all right. This female looks like it's carrying eggs, but I have not been able to get it to breed yet, so I'll keep you guys updated on that. Oh, the shrimp are doing good in here. Special shout out to Neon Tetra Aquarius. I'm gonna try to focus on some, but I added a few glass shrimp. There you can see one. Okay, I turned on the back room light and you can see. Watching his tank, you know, you always get motivated to do things. Watching that kid's tank, he does good work. If you don't know about him, Neon Tetra Aquarius, check him out. My shrimp are doing good, so I'm gonna add a few more cherries to this tank to play along with the glass shrimp. Oh, my cories that I got from LQ, if I can get one on footage, I just saw it swim by. Here's another big glass shrimp. They definitely grew big. Oh, there he is, cories. Thank you go out to LQ. She knows who she is. She got me these beautiful cory cats. I have not lost any of them. I'm feeding them bloodworms, frozen mysis, crushed flake, and they have been growing. They look like they're happy. They shoot out all over the place when I put the camera away. When I pull the camera out, I never see them. There's one that hangs out. Oh, here's two more over here. The other four are usually in the back there, and they come out when the lights are out, but they're doing good and the tank is doing great. My betas are doing just fine. No loss, no fin nipping. They've been chilling. They've actually colored up rather nicely with the change in the diet. I think the addition of the bloodworms has actually improved the color in all of these fish, because I was primarily feeding them flake food, but that's doing good. Everybody is doing good. So the only thing that I can add is pulling those plants out definitely increased the color and growth in the plants below. I'm going to keep on trucking, keep on doing what I do. I'm going to try to keep you guys up to date with more Sunday swims and more updates during the week, but I just been so busy. I gotta apologize, I haven't had time. You guys like, what's happening to D? Don't want you to think I fell off the earth, but you know how it goes. You gotta make money to stay in this hobby. You gotta make money to live. So click that subscribe button. Thank you for being patient. If you got any questions, post them below. I always look forward to hearing from you guys, and give me a thumbs up if it ain't too much trouble. I always try to follow you guys. So with that being said, I'm gonna be out. Thank you, and keeping tanking on.